of America, Donald Trump has shown us in his first term and in this term, he is not loyal to people like you. He will cut you loose. This may be the last time I have a hearing with you because I don't think you're long for your job. But I'm going to tell you this. I pray for you. I pray for you that you can step up and defend your oath, defend the Constitution, and do a much better job of defending this country. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do you want to say anything?
Yes, sir. That rant of false information does not bring this country together. If you want to work on bringing this country, it's my time, not yours.
My God.
If you want to talk about
dividing this country,
it is my time.
I follow you on your social media posts that tear this country apart.
To address your falsehoods.
Oh,
you are an
you can try all
you
you
want
want
in this country.
to not
Senator,
take responsibility for what you have said.
Time.
Sir, you're making a mockery of this committee. Sir, you don't tell me my time is over.
You
the people of New Jersey tell me what my time is.
Senator,
you can't lecture me.
You can tell me my time's over.
You may be the charge of the
I'm
FBI,
not going anywhere.
but I am not afraid of you,
Mr. Chairman.
I'm not afraid of you.
So this is not something you see every day, but I'll just tell you guys this. That's Kash Patel. He's the FBI head. He's getting questions and grilled from U.S. senators today. And basically the point is, Patel, why are you so incompetent? Why are you firing competent people? Because that's what he's essentially been doing, is pushing out experienced and competent people that we need. And then you got stuff like this on social media. Patel's tweeting out, the subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk is now in custody, right? And then later he got called out on that, and he actually retweeted, the subject in custody has been released after interrogation by law enforcement. Point being, don't tweet this stuff out as the head FBI saying you got your guy when in fact you don't have your guy. And he evidently ignored consulting with senior leadership in the FBI and just did this kind of on his own. This is really, really bad.
You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can go raise money for your charade. You are a political buffoon at best.
Well, you can take an internet troll.
Take it to the bank that the FBI is protecting this country and the state and citizens of the California. We are bringing historic reform.
Point of order.
But all you care about is a child sex predator that was prosecuted by a prior administration, and the Obama Justice Department and the Biden Justice Department did squat. And what did President Trump do? Bring new charges courageously. And what have we done?
Chairman,
you said I'm the most
control of this
transparent
situation.
FBI director in history.
So as you can see with Patel, he's going with the greatest hits. When in doubt, hey, it's Obama's fault. Hey, it's a Biden's fault. And that appeals to his base. And I'm sure they're going to like that. But ultimately, when you watch this stuff, you have to ask yourself, okay, how credible is this guy? Now, put this together with, because now that we're seeing it in person, there's a report recently, he had a Zoom call with like 200 FBI agents, and people who were on that call were just like, Patel guy was just swearing nonstop, calling people names, berating people. And when you actually see him in public do the same kind of thing, you're just like, this guy is totally unfit. But this is a lot of Trump's administration, and these kind of things, again, expose Trump and the kind of people that he hires. The bet and word on the street is that Patel's on his way out, but you never know. And that's why it's fascinating is, remember, Trump likes to watch TV, and when Trump watches stuff, does Trump think, wow, that's the guy I want on my team? Or is Trump's like, man, get him off the team? And this is sort of why we have to evaluate for ourselves. Let's watch some more.
Years to fill the vacancies at your agency, many are the result of your purge. 20% of FBI agents are doing low-level immigration enforcement instead of their mission-critical work. You've disbanded entire task forces that stop election interference, foreign influence, public corruption. And who benefits from this? Well, corrupt people benefit from it. Criminals benefit from it. Vladimir Putin benefits from it. And it really makes me wonder who you're looking out for. It makes me think we can't trust you as a nation.
And that's been the reporting from people who've been fired, from inside people who are still there, that basically Patel is weakening the USA. And do care about this stuff, guys, because essentially when people say how does Donald Trump get away with all the stuff that he does, is because effectively Donald Trump's having Patel fire all the cops in just in the simplest terms, right? How do criminals get away? How do criminals like Donald Trump get away with all the crap that they do? Because he's running the show and getting his people to fire all the cops and then hire all of the corrupt, dirty cops. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is sort of why this becomes so important to watch these things, because effectively you gotta hold them accountable for this stuff.
I want to better understand the scope of the turnover and the changes occurring at the FBI. Since January 2025, how many FBI employees have retired, resigned, been fired, or otherwise separated from employment? I need a number.
We'll get you a number.
What is the number? You don't have it?
Not off the top of my head, and I want to get you the right number.
Would it surprise you to know that it's probably in the thousands, like 5,000?
I don't think that number's
Well,
accurate.
you don't know. Next question. How many special agents or analysts have left or been fired from the FBI since January 20th, 2025?
Say, we will get you the numbers, and anyone that retires is of their own volition, and anyone that is terminated at the FBI, as I've said before, is done so because they have failed to meet the standards and uphold their loyalty and oath to the
Yeah,
Constitution.
so you say. Next question. How many executive assistant directors, or special agents in charge have left or been fired from the FBI since January 20th, 2025?
Again, people leaving on their own accord or terminations were done by the standards set at the FBI that have been carried out
With this question, I'm getting
consistently.
to the leadership of the FBI, and you don't have that answer.
So what's going on is his defense, because basically we're kind of get like, okay, so why are, say, 5,000 agents leaving? And that's kind of around the number I had heard also. But for the first question was like, can you confirm how many people are leaving the FBI, right? And then Patel is sort of response is Patel can't tell the truth. If the truth is, for example, we told people that you can't investigate anything to do with Donald Trump, just for example, or when it comes to any sort of cases, if it has something to do with, if you want to talk about Epstein stuff or anything with Donald Trump, they'll just like kind of hide and try to bury those things and assign agents to other stuff. That's sort of why they were talking about before of like, hey, why are agents, doing low level work? Why are you putting all agents on essentially, immigration stuff? And this is one of the smoke screens that Trump is running. If you throw all the, just like take every, agent from every department, put on immigration things, then suddenly you leave United States vulnerable to a bunch of other threats, right? Plus you allow for Trump to do any number of crimes and his people to do any number of crimes. So you're putting resources where, it's fine for TV and it's fine for your base, but then suddenly we have a big blind spots in our particular, enforcement.
Director Patel, at one point you made an announcement that the suspect was in custody. We got our man. It turned out that was not true. In fact, I think that was about 27 hours before the person now in custody was apprehended. Why did you make that statement?
Thank you, Senator. Appreciate you letting me address this. What the FBI does is not just locate and find suspects, but we also participate in eliminating subjects. And what we had at the time was a subject in custody in relation to this investigation. So in my commitment to work with the public to help identify subjects and suspects, I put that information out. And then when we interviewed him, I put out the results of that. And could I have been more careful in my verbiage and included an A subject instead of subject? Sure, in the heat of the moment, but I was doing the best I could.
In all candor, I don't quite get that, because if we have our man, that would suggest to the public that everybody can rest and relax and not then continue to provide information to local law enforcement and to you.
Well,
So that was a mistake.
I don't see it as a mistake. I see it as something working with the public to identify that there was a subject
So if
in
you
custody.
put out a statement that says we've got our man, and in fact it turns out that you didn't have your man, that's not a mistake?
But that's not what I said.
Well,
Essentially how his defense was, because what he has to do is admit nothing. That's Patel's thing. Then when they ask him, so why are you firing said people? Is it based on Donald Trump loyalty tests? And then his answer is kind of to dodge, to be like, well, it's just the standards of the FBI, right? The other problem is, and this is a real big moral dilemma for many federal employees, is if Donald Trump orders you to do something illegal, Do you follow the legal order or do you resign, right? So in this situation, for example, let's say I decide to resign, then Patel will say, see, well, we didn't push anybody out. They just decided because they wanted to go do something else. And therein lies the problem. And so that's why we have to ask these people, like, are you forcing people to do illegal things? Are you giving loyalty tests? And what the heck is going on inside the FBI? And then with the social media posts that he was basically, posting, hey, we got our guy. And then he's like, well, I never said that kind of stuff. It is a massive, massive problem with people like Patel or the people that essentially Trump is hiring. They're wildly incompetent, wildly corrupt. And like I said, I think he's probably the first one to go out. That's what the rumor on the street is. So we'll see. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Do you appreciate your time? And I'll catch you on the next video.